Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shemai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad, Shemai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shalom.
Hey, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakudash.
double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a hobby behind the camera.
Kazak Yalla.
All right, today we're going to go into a live stream entitled "We Will Acquire the Earth and the Kingdom."
Yep.
Because if you go into Isaiah 60, you go into Revelation 21, all right, you go into Isaiah 14, you know, the strangers coming back to us, all right. In a nutshell, that's us acquiring the earth. Where it says that, you know, we're gonna get the forces of the Gentile.
Yep.
That's the earth. That's the resources that come from the earth.
That's right.
Including the slaves themselves.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna acquire the earth in the kingdom, man. All right. It's like a state championship. Everybody's fighting over that trophy. I remember when I was in high school, we had a rival high school team, and I believe, to my recollection, that we would fight over a certain street sign. Like the championship, they was able to acquire that particular street sign. It's like who won it.
It's kind of like conquering a land. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you taking a standard.
Yeah, you taking that standard. Like, we got the flag.
Okay, we good.
So the 12 tribes will have full access to the planet Earth. And you have to think about what that entails, man. All right, think about everything you have in your possession. Your house, all right, your shoes, your clothes, all right, Jake love jewelry, all right, you want women, all right, but all that is handed down to you by way of a third party, by way of another kingdom, man.
That's
another
right.
man.
That's right.
All right, but in the kingdom, you're gonna have full possession. The reason why it says in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, the stranger that is within thee will get above thee very high. He shall lend to thee. All right, he should be the head, he should be the tail, because he's acquired the earth.
He got the earth.
He got the earth right now. He has that street sign. Right now, he has that championship belt.
He has the house.
He has the house. All right. Did it not say in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked?
That's it.
Hey, Babakasha, let's you want to take a detour?
Yeah.
The earth is given to the hands of the wicked, so he's acquired the earth. That's why he can distribute things out. That's why he can, all right, regulate the resources to where Esau dwells in America, but where the 12 tribes dwell, it's a lack of resources.
Yeah.
It's always a lack of funding.
It's a shortage everywhere we at.
It's a shortage everywhere we at. The streets are always bad, and nobody has the money to fix the streets. Nobody ever has the money to fix certain things. The drugs just mysteriously appear in the hood, the guns. All right. So we're gonna have power. That's power. We're gonna have land, and we're gonna have the power to manage that land.
That's real wealth.
That's real wealth, man. We're gonna have the people, all right? We're gonna own people, and we're gonna have the authority and the power to rule those people. You see?
And all these things that you speaking about, Zaquan, they all reproduce themselves. You know?
And talk about generational wealth, talk about passive income, talk about residual income. Your wealth is reproducing itself. A dollar can't do that.
Nope.
A $20 bill is actually going to deflate in value, because a $20 was worth 50 years ago, all right, it's a lot less worth valuable now, all right. It's a lot less valuable now. Bunker shot, can we cut this?
Come.
You see, what $20 was worth 50 years ago, it's a lot less valuable now. But I was reading it in Leviticus, the 25th chapter, and it goes into the distinction between the Hebrew slaves and the Gentile slaves, man. And you got when you actually own a person, you own their kids, or you own everything. But guess what? They owned us. So when we had children on the plantation, they owned our children.
That's heavy. Like, you have children, but they're not yours.
They're not yours. That's why we have something called child support. I'm sorry, let me take this off. I gotta take my hoodie off. We got something called child support because the children are not yours. You know? But see, in the kingdom, hey, Jake gonna have hundreds of children. That's gonna be normal. And you see little inklings of that in certain parts of the world, like in certain parts of West Africa. You actually got Jake to have 200 children.
And it's nothing.
It's nothing. They didn't have about 70 wives, 200 children, but they'll be poor. See? And they'll have a lot of resources. A lot of the children, you know, die, you know. but they don't have a lot of resources. But just imagine you have wealth and you have 200-300 children. That's why the Most High give you acres and acres of land.
Man, picture a family reunion. God damn.
See, yeah, right. Woo!
That's a lot of little ones, man.
That's a village.
That's a village, yeah.
You know, Jake gonna proliferate real quick, man. Jake gonna proliferate real quick. And see, everything on the earth is connected. Esau E, he'll have you thinking that everything just happens sporadically through a process of evolution. No, the Most High created vast amounts of land for the nations of the people. Systems. Hey, Deuteronomy 32, it said he separated the land for the nations.
Yep.
Roughly paraphrasing, of course. But then he created systems to manage the land.
And he gave us the best land.
He gave us the best land. That white meat, you know? That big piece of chicken. Jerusalem was just the mother of us all, that juicy piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Because that whole region is classified as the Mediterranean area.
Yeah.
All right, or the Fertile Crescent.
Yeah.
Why is it called fertile? Because 3,000 years ago, it didn't look like it does today.
Yeah, and that's where the garden was, because the whole earth was Eden.
Yep.
But that's where the garden was.
So that's the choice of the choice.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Woo.
So we're going to get the best of the best, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I was Isaiah 60, like the Lord levels up for brass. Yep. I'll bring gold.
Yep.
For iron, I'll bring silver. For wood, brass. For stones, iron. Like everything level up.
And the whole earth is going to go into manufacturing mode for the nation of Israel.
That's right, man.
I mean, all nations are about to be on this gargantuan assembly line, all right, to erect the kingdom of heaven.
And they do it for Edom.
They do it for Edom.
They don't make these cell phones and these cars and shit.
Right. I was even checking out Dubai. Really, Elamite slaves built up Dubai. They import Elamite slaves, of course, for low wages to erect all those cities, man. So no matter how you mix it, no matter if we're in the modern world or the ancient world, in order to have a heaven, somebody has to go through slavery to build up a heaven on earth. You know?
The greatest civilization had slaves.
The greatest civilization had slaves. And we're going to have a class system.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to have the I guess you could call it the middle class?
Mm-hmm.
All right? But then, you know, you're going to have the aristocracy, man.
That's right.
Because no Israelite is going to be poor. They're going to have the basics. The average man going to have a piece of land. His woman going to be in subjection. He might have offspring. You might have little servants here and there.
The average Israelite is going to be a Solomon.
An average Israelite going to be a Solomon. But then you're going to have the aristocracy. Because we got to rule those people, man.
Yes, right. That's right.
See, the Most High is molding us to rule the civilization.
That's heavy too, cause Jay gonna be perfect, but we still gonna have to govern them.
We're gonna have to govern them, man. We're gonna have to distribute resources.
Yeah.
And our reality gets into that. We're gonna have to distribute resources, man. We're gonna control the economy. See, our law is so deep, it has so much depth. It's not just one dimensional. That's why we get on Jake and tell you, you can't make a doctrine out of the law.
Yeah.
Because the law is meant for you to thrive on an independent piece of land.
We gotta be sovereign.
You gotta be sovereign. If you're not sovereign, you can't dare keep a law in another man's territory.
A nigga with some fringes on, you know?
Because you gotta keep the law of his land.
Yeah.
Leviticus 25, it's a law of basically sharing. The reason why the law tells you that no Israelite owns land. So it's actually within the law that you keep your land for a certain amount of years, all right? But then you have the obligation to give up that land and sell it or rent it out. All right, so other Israelites can get the harvest of that land.
All well off.
Yep. So the closer you are to Jubilee, because that's what happens around Jubilee. The closer you are to Jubilee, the cheaper your land is, and the farther you are from Jubilee, the more expensive the land is, because you're renting that land out so another Israelite can harvest those crops.
It's crazy because like with Jubilee, like it frees you up from debts. Yep. You know, like we got the best laws in the world, man.
We got the best. Even down in Jackson, Mississippi, we used to have something called Jubilee Jam.
I remember that.
Every year we used to have something called Jubilee Jam. It was like a big festival, man. It used to be really kind of popping back in the day.
Yeah.
But the point is, hey, there's a reality to us we're about to acquire the earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all the resources, and we've been institutionalized in a concrete jungle so long, we don't understand the power of having power.
Nope.
We don't understand the power of actually owning the earth. All right, I don't care about a fucking car. I don't care about a fucking pair of shoes. Like,
Nah.
that's all Esau bullshit. That car, I'd rather have $1 million racehorse, or you know, you got. I'm sorry for being all over the place, but you got horses being hot shotted from one side of the United States to the next side of the United States, and these are $1 million horses on the back of these trucks.
It's bullshit.
And you know what happens? That horse can reproduce itself,
Yeah.
but the Ferrari can't.
Nope.
The like you was going into, the Most High's creation can reproduce itself. Like Jake get into these pit bulls, you know, you get a bully, American bully, with a high grade pedigree. Set up, the dog worth $2,500.
Man, that type of dog was a damn weapon.
It's a weapon, man. The dog, you got dogs worth $10,000. When they drop a puppy or litters out of the puppy's worth thousands of dollars.
And like I said, they can reproduce themselves.
Real wealth reproduces itself, man. The greatest thing you can have is to own a piece of the earth. But even if you own land now, you own it through Esau's permission. But in the kingdom, don't you understand something? We're about to overthrow another man's rulership, man. You're not gonna have a problem with your woman.
Damn.
We're about to, like, think about all the things you have in this life. You got it by way of going through Esau.
Yep.
You have to go to an office, get a license, get your picture taken, get your fingerprinted.
Yeah.
Some places, like whatever, I use a child to draw blood.
Yeah. So long, we'll throw this away.
Yep, come on. But we're about to overthrow another man's way. Another man's way of living is about to be overthrown, man.
Man, it's heavy too, Zaquan, because there's one Jake, I wish I could think of his damn name, man. But he had broke down Rex 84, also known as the King Alfred's plan. Basically speaking about the elite, you know, their plans as far as, you know, martial law in America and also what they want to do to the tribes. But hey, this Jake went in. You know what I mean? He in the world, you know, bald head Jake in a suit.
Yep.
But the way he broke it down, like, you can see the reality of it. But he was speaking about, well, he, in so many words, he called, Edom the devil too, in so many words. But he had said how if America, if these people, if they give you a passport, because a lot of y'all like to travel, right? They give you a passport, that's just them just giving you permission to go.
Yep.
Like, so you got to get permission to travel the earth, man.
Yeah, you get punished for having another woman, for having another family. You know, because port goes back to door. Because that's where you get the word Puerto Rico, door of riches. So to enter into the door of another country, you need a pass.
Hey, it's like in school, you had a hall pass.
You got a hall pass.
You good.
Hey, y'all used to being under a nigga, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even the other nations have a ruling class mentality. But y'all niggas,
Yeah.
y'all used to being under a nigga,
Oh,
man.
and they got nationalism too.
Yep. And that's something that the 12 tribes don't. Especially the Southern Kingdom.
Yeah, man.
The Northern Kingdom got nationalism, but it's that post-colonization nationalism.
Yeah.
You proud of being a damn Spaniard.
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese culture, Spaniard culture, or you had a Southern Kingdom on the islands embracing Hamitic culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that voodoo bullshit.
Right.
So, but y'all niggas in America?
Oh,
An
man.
American nigga is the worst type of nigga, man.
Yeah. Our people in America on the lowest vibration on earth.
Don't you know that the reason why it's so important to have a pedigree is so that's how you stake your claim for possession on earth. When you go into the land of Israel, all right, you stake your claim for a certain possession of land or a certain inheritance that was inherited by your father to you, all right, but you have to be able to document and prove your pedigree, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we had clans, tribes, and the tribes built up to a nation.
Yep.
But we have possessions of land, all right? But you niggas don't even care about that. You niggas don't care about owning nothing, man.
Yep.
Then you got the Jake that they wake up to their nationality and they want to own the earth now. Or they want to have some type of Black Wall Street now, like Esau not gonna hate on you, man.
Yeah.
All right? But in the kingdom, we're gonna acquire the earth, man. All right? Hey, what's the time on that, brother?
It's 15 minutes.
All right? But that's pretty much the point, man. We're about to acquire the earth.
Yep.
And that's what and the MOTB is almost here, bro.
Hell yeah.
You got Migos, these niggas Migos, one of the niggas called Takeoff, they got a song called Crypto. So that's how the apostles prophesied. They're gonna use rappers to push this MOTB.
Yeah, a while back, the nigga, what's his old ass, washed up ass, Lil Flip, he came out with his own little cryptocurrency, man.
Yeah, so what do you think this cashless currency is going into? It's ultimately going to go into your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And you're not going to be able to enter into the grid unless you got this MOTB.
Yeah.
That's why through the spirit, the store up faith, man.
That's right.
Store up faith, but also be ready to live outside the grid, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Esau, if he's looking for you, he'll find you. But basically, a lot of people, they don't have to get forced into taking it. They're going to get starved out and lose faith, man.
Or just want to take the shit anyway.
They want to take it anyway, man, because Esau is very crafty. He's a cunning hunter, so he's enticing you. Like, just how like a deer, right? When you have a deer, right? You imitate a deer to catch a deer. You got these deer sounds. You could buy deer piss, or enzyme that's a smell that smells like piss. You act like the prey that you want to capture.
And Esau the ultimate wolf, man.
He the ultimate wolf, so he uses sheep to catch sheep. He uses Jake to entice Jake.
Yep.
So he used these rap niggas to lead Jake off into the New World Order. Got this nigga Lil Nas X.
Oh man,
you see,
shit horrible, man.
Pushing that homosexual agenda because he wants to emasculate you niggas, man.
And them videos got damn near a billion views, man.
Yep, this nigga went from Old Town Road to twerking on Say, man. But that nigga that wasn't random. All that's calculated, man. All right. So the point is, man, we're gonna have to utilize the earth, all right, for our sustenance and survival. But in the kingdom, we're gonna acquire the earth, man. This is Mother Earth, man.
Yeah.
How do you say Amma Rataza?
Yep.
Amma, which is mom or mother. Rataza is earth. Amma Rataza. And you gotta start looking at it that way, man. All right, these trees ain't here just to be cute, man. All right, these are pine trees, which is very prevalent in Mississippi. All right, but the pine tree has a pine cone, and within that pine cone is a pine seed or a pine nut, which has a high protein content, man. But then within the pine tree got pine resin. The Dallas kept burn pine resin, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the pine needle, this pretty flammable. I think this is one of the things you could use to start a flame, man. That is one thing I could think of. But you gotta look into, like, we gotta start looking into the bark of these trees, because the Most High put a lot of medicine within the bark of trees.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's right.
You see, that is one example, man. We gotta start looking at the earth like this is ours, man. The earth is ours.
Yeah, don't be afraid when they crash this shit, man, and we got to be off the grid, man. Our forefathers, to be honest, they always kind of been off the grid anyway.
Well, true, and shit, off the grid is basically any country outside the Western sphere.
Yeah, it is.
Any country that's not a first world country or maybe a second world country, they're off the grid. Like the Amish, they're off the grid.
Everybody ain't gonna be down with the NWO.
Right. The ancient world was off the grid.
It was off the grid.
You know, this is the grid. Power lines, electricity, all that. You know, that's the grid. But the Egyptians called us shepherd kings, man.
Yeah, and that's the elite beef with the majority of people on Earth, especially like you said in these remote areas. You know, these different places that are outside the Western sphere. You know, basically, a lot of them don't have, identification.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have a social security number and stuff like that. That's why they got to bring the MOTB. So they're going to identify and track everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but everybody ain't going to be down with that shit.
So, hey, don't look at the earth like, oh, man, when the MOTB get here, what I'm going to do? All right, where I'm going to go to live?
Yeah, panic mode.
Panic mode. First of all, we're going to depend on Yahweh Shema Shai.
That's right.
And secondly, we know that this is the house.
Yep.
This is the where you can live. Everything comes back to the earth. Everything goes back to the earth, man.
Yep. The earth is a house.
Yeah, because it says in Sirach, one of the principal things of life, one of the things it named is iron. So iron is where you get all the tools from. All right. Then it went into fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then it went into shelter, clothing. All right. It went into salt. It went into the flour of wheat. All right, it went into the wine of grapes, the blood of grapes. It went into oil.
Yeah.
All those things collectively, that's how you keep up. That's how you have something called a homestead. That's how you homestead. All those things collectively, you sustain your people, man.
That's right, bro.
All those things, man. All right. You know how many houses you can make from earth? Like look up Adobe. I think that's how you pronounce it. Adobe.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they straight up making houses. Issachar was heavy on that.
Yeah, Issachar, yep.
You go to certain Issacharite restaurants and they have pictures of those houses. But that's a craft, that's an art. Because the government has it set up to where if you live in a third world country, they distribute certain books on how to make those houses.
Yeah, those different shacks and
Yep.
stuff like that, man.
Seminoles, shacks, TPs, but Gad straight up had houses. But it's a skill. It's a skill to live off the earth, man.
Yeah, we call it a makeshift house, or, you know.
Makeshift house. Yep. Yep.
Hey,
So-
but even this damn, hey, man, fuck Esau Edom, man. You know, this shit they gave us, cause really, I mean, you know, Zaquan was speaking about it. Convenience, that's like the biggest form of slavery, man.
It's the biggest, and it makes you dependent.
Yep.
And it makes you, like, it's the biggest form of emasculation also, man. Because a woman is dependent on that shit.
Yeah.
But as a man, you're not supposed to not know how to do shit. And we've been emasculated. We learn this stuff now.
Yeah.
As a man, you're not supposed to know how to do basic things, man. So, but it all goes back to, hey, utilizing the earth for your survival. And we use the word not abusing it. We're not off the grid, but it's certain things you can know.
Yeah. And then that's gonna make that transition more comfortable too.
Yep.
When you detach now, like when it comes to certain things, or just knowing, like you said, knowing how to do stuff.
Knowing how to do stuff, man. Like, hey, going back to the principal things in life, it mentioned fire. So it'll be a nice thing to know how to make a fire. It'll be a nice thing, and it also mentioned shelter. It'll be a nice thing to know how to make your own shelter.
Yep. Or pinch a tent.
Pitch a tent, hey, you know. But hey, that's pretty much the point, bro. You got anything?
That's it, bro.
Hey, with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakodash.
Double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops, great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba Baba.
Abba Baba.
Come out, Shalom.
Come Yashua.
Shalom.
Shalom.